Hey guys, it's your girl Londyn, and today we are going to be doing a look with the Natasha Denona Retro palette. So if you're interested in seeing what the look's going to turn out like, then just stay tuned because we're going to get right into it. Okay guys, so Natasha Denona Retro. This released a couple weeks ago, not to be confused with the mini retro, in which if you're hoping that this resembled it, you likely are very upset at this point in time because it really doesn't. Now, Natasha has indicated that she is going to create another palette that is more in line with the mini retro, but right now what she is serving us is a different kind of retro from a different kind of era. Retro can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. It can mean a lot of different color stories, a lot of different fashions, a lot of different music. So for me, I think that this is a special palette because this is Natasha's interpretation of retro. And I think anytime you have that, you kind of have a little piece of the person because they're giving you something from them and from their perspective. And I think that that is always special, especially coming from an artist and kind of the way that they create and do their work. So this is the Unicarton. Now this is her midi size palette, which I know many of you love because this is, I can't even speak. I'm just so excited about it because this is $65. So this is a kind of sweet spot for a price point for the shadows that you're getting. So I think most people really do like just the size of this component and the price of the component. So this is what it looks like. It looks exactly like the Unicarton, which I love. It's just this beautiful, soft, blush pink look on the outside. Simple, understated, and I think just absolutely gorgeous. Today I have this little maroon wine top on. I'm actually very nervous because I am getting ready to do a presentation on advanced quantitative research and analysis. So I'm slightly nervous about that. So I said, you know what? I have to get ready anyway. Let me calm myself down by doing a little look. So I'm trying to kind of not be matchy-matchy, but have a vibe. So inside, you do get the full mirror, which I do still have the little thing on because I don't use the mirrors in here and there was no need to blind you guys. But this is what the palette looks like. Now, I have used this palette once and I did enjoy the look that I was able to do. So I said, well, let's go ahead. Let's see if we can do another look and kind of just see what it's all about on the second go around. So in here, when I'm looking at it, it appears that there is 15 shades, and out of the 15 shades, 4 shimmers or metallics, and then actually lies. I'm gonna go with 2 shimmers. It looks like 4 metallics, and the remaining appear to be mattes. I know some are the cream to matte formula, the regular matte. I don't claim to be a Natasha Denona expert. If you're looking for somebody in that realm, I always suggest to go see Kinky Sweat. Alicia, she knows from Pat McGrath to Natasha Denona. She not only knows about the palette, she knows the in and out details of why they created the palette, the different formulas, when the formulas were changed. She really is kind of, in my eyes, a product knowledge expert in things like that. So I will leave her channel linked down below in the information box so you guys can head over there because she really is the one to give you some real detailed information like that. It certainly is not me. So let's go ahead and let's get started. I do have my color switch and this is what I use to kind of go in between my colors so that way I can utilize my brushes a little better than maybe I usually would. So we're going to go in and we're going to use this nude mauve shade. We're going to use this kind of as a transition, if you will, because I'm not quite sure if I'm doing a regular look. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to, I see my primer for my eyes is slightly creasing. I am trying a new primer, so we'll pat that in. I don't know if I'm going to be doing oh my, okay. I was going to use this as a transition, but on my skin, this certainly didn't look that dark in the pan. So it's giving me a little more color than I had anticipated. So I guess we are not going to be doing any type of halo eye today. I mean, we still probably could, but I guess we're going to be just serving the full look today. Because like I said, that was slightly more pigmented than I had anticipated, and a different, at least from what I'm seeing, slightly different color. I don't know why, but I thought it would be a little more of a mauvey taupe, or a mauvey nude, because it is called nude mauve, but I feel like on me, it is definitely pulling a little more mauve than nude. So I don't know if that's just if you're melanated like me, this may show up a little more mauve. I don't know if you're more fair skin, if it will do the same thing but even deeper, or if it will show up kind of true to a nude mauve. I don't know, but I really feel like that name was a little deceptive, because she certainly showed up and is showing out. So we have that, and I do like how that looks. Next, I think that we want to go in with, I had used the Amara. The Amara is kind of like more of a reddy, or I should say more of a burgundy. I'd used that in my last look. I really did like it, but I think this time I want to go for Groove, where this is more of a burgundy. The Groove is more of a wine maroon, so almost like a deeper, if you had to choose colors, more of like a deeper purple tone versus like a reddy toned. So I think I want to go ahead and use that. I'm going to use the same brush, and we're just going to take Groove, put it on here. These are shadows. There is slight powder kick up, but it's a powder product. And I think we're going to start in the outer corner and kind of just work our way over. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure what we're doing here today, but I do kind of want to bring it a little further over on the lid and almost do kind of a blowout of this shade. What I've noticed about this palette is really good if you want to do a blowout of color and maybe just use like one shade and then just like a shimmer all over. I feel like this palette is really good for that. Now this isn't completely blended, but I'm just kind of laying down the outline for what we're doing here so I can kind of see what we might do in the future. So guys, like I said, I am very, very nervous. I can come on here and talk all day and I'm fine. I can do my job all day, in which I see patients all day, talk to them, fine. Talking about advanced quantitative research and analysis, it has me shooketh. Why? If you're not aware, it's slightly intensive. It's like a very cruel mixing of statistics, quantitative data, and then the analysis of that. So simplistic yet complicated at the same time, because research design itself has so many different designs, and which one you're going to use, which analysis you're going to use for the data, what methods you're going to use to get the quantitative data, and then kind of putting it all together and doing the explanation for it. It just, for me, is very intimidating because I don't in any way, shape, or form consider myself to be an expert on that topic. And so knowing that when you're speaking to people with whom you think are definitely more expertly in that area than you are, it is quite intimidating. And this is for my class because we are doing our research project and like our specific aims and things like that. Because if you don't know, I'm living that post-grad life. So for whatever reason, after 2 years of being out of grad school, I decided, you know what, you're a working professional, you have your license, but why not go ahead and just add on a doctoral program? Because, you know, there's nothing more that we love than research. So I said, you know what, let's just do it because that sounds like a good time. This is not a good time. Although I do love everything that I'm learning, and definitely like the outcome that I have for myself at the end, I can't wait to get to. The interim is slightly difficult in that I do have a full-time job. I am a clinician. I do see patients all day. And then I do have this work, and they're condensed. So these are 8-week courses. Um, and so it is quite intensive. It's a lot of hours of work, the amount of work. So, we have anywhere between 5 and 7 assignments a week, and it usually accumulates to about 40 to 50 hours a week just dedicated to the work itself. Last week I did a 45-page paper. So it's very time consuming, and it requires you to do a lot of heavy reading beforehand, being able to understand the reading, synthesize it, and then go through the analysis process that you're doing. And everything is very specific. So it has specific ways it has to be written, specific tones it has to be written in, specific parts, specific amount of length. So everything is very specified to it, and any kind of deviation from those specifications can really lead things astray and get your research rejected, take you out of the running for grants, things like that. So it can be quite intensive. So, absolutely. So, if anybody wants to hear more about that post-grad life, I actually had wanted to start like a little series about post-grad life because I feel like not many people talk about it. It's kind of just like if you go to grad school, you get done with grad school and that's it. But I think there's a lot involved with post-grad life. Some people just go straight on to the doctoral program, and those vary from program to program. Some have a doctoral program and work. Some decide not to move on. They're just doing traditional post-grad life and going on to their professional fields and things like that. But I was kind of thinking it might be fun to do an intermittent series kind of just about post-grad life. In particular, mine is in psychology and specializing in developmental psychology. So I don't know if anybody would be interested. I would be totally down to do that in the free time that I don't have, because that sounds like fun. So we now have that all over the eye, and I really like the way this is looking. I think it's looking very, very pretty. So I don't really want to do much more to it. And to be quite honest with you, aside from the color Apart, which is right here, there's not really another dark shade. But my fear is that if I put Apart in the corner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up muddying the look. And I don't want to muddy the look at all, because this is Apart. Apart is like this brown. I feel like because we went in with the kind of more maroony purple color, I feel like it might end up getting muddied on itself, and that is not something that we're looking to do. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the brow bone highlight, and the only color we really have is Maud, and Maud is kind of like a pinky white right here. So let's hope it doesn't pull like some of the others, and that it actually pulls a little more white than pink. Otherwise, we're definitely going to be in a little bit of trouble. So let's just take this right here. But I think that this is a nice color, because I think that it kind of just pulls things together, but doesn't make it be disconnected, because it does have that pink undertone to it. I think that it allows it to really kind of flow with the look and kind of blend seamlessly with what you have kind of going on here, and that is what I like. So I am very much so enjoying that. So I'll put a little bit more over here. I think I gypped myself on this side. What I found with this palette, like I said, even though I've only used it once and this is my second time, is that outside of the fact that I'm talking to you right now, I feel like this palette is very quick to work with. Quick, effortless. I feel like you can have an easy breezy look in no time. And I enjoy that, because a lot of times you don't have all the time in the world. And so I think of a lot of Natasha's palettes, this one is very, very easy, very, very quick to work with. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into our lid shade. And I kind of want to use, Psychedelic is this one right here. It's kind of more of a shimmer kind of white. Glitz is more like a pinky gold. Helio, ooh, okay. That one's more the bronzy kind of pink. And then Jude is definitely more of kind of a pewter taupey color. So I think we're gonna go, you know what? I think we're gonna go with Jude. I think we're gonna go with this. Oh, there's also Patty. Oh, Patty's like a nice kind of pink, but I know a lot of people use Patty. Let's go in with Jude. Jude is that pewter taupe color. I think we're going to go in with this one. We're going to use the finger, and we're going to take that and put that on the lid. And this is really pretty. And usually I would have gone for like the lighter pink color. I usually don't do something this deep and then also do a deep shimmer. But I don't know, maybe I'm just feeling a little moody today. Looking for a vibe. It's a little overcast outside. We're supposed to get some rain. You know, fall is here. So I think it's just giving me a vibe. And as you guys know, I do go a little higher because I do have the wonderful hooded eyes. Blessed with that. So we want to move the shadow for us before it moves for itself. So let's go ahead and I like to pat the shadows on with my finger versus swiping. I don't really know if it makes a difference. I just like to do it this way. So if it seems like I'm going into the shadows a lot of times, it's really because I don't do the swiping motion. I do the patting motion instead. So that is looking very nice. We will blend these edges right here on the corner, of course. But before we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take this tiny brush right here, and this is the Colourpop E29. And now I think we're going to go into Patty. So again, Patty was that kind of pinky color right here. And I think that's what we're going to do in the kind of inner third, because the little fingers don't go in that far. I think we're going to take Patty in here and kind of blend Patty into Jude and have kind of a pewtery pink motif. Ooh, I like that. Little pewtery pink motif kind of happening here. This is a really pretty palette. When I first saw this palette, I didn't see the leaked photos. So I didn't see kind of the variation of, I know some people thought it was really dark, some people thought it was really light. I didn't see that. I saw the photo on Natasha's website when it went pre-sale. So that's the first time that I saw it. I didn't actually know if I would like this palette because I typically don't do a ton of mauvey wine looks because they always tend to be a little deeper for me, and I don't sometimes know if I necessarily look very, I know, appealing in a deeper shade like that. But this palette just, I think it's the tones of this palette versus the actual shade. It's the tone of the shades that I think are really nice with this one, and they just work like this. They just work really, really well together. So now that we have that done, what we're going to do is we're going to take that same brush that we just had, and we're going to go ahead and come here, and we're just going to sweep the line. That's what I like to call it. So because I want a little bit more of the matte shade to come into the shimmer, I'm sweeping the matte towards the shimmer. If you want more of the shimmer towards the matte, you could sweep the other way. So you just sweep whatever direction you want to sweep, and it allows you to blend the line without kind of getting rid of the shadow, which can happen. And that's why I choose to use this flat brush, tiny flat brush, instead of a shader brush. I'm going to wipe that off, of course, on my color switch, and then we're going to go in. We're going to do the same thing for our two metallics. And I want to sweep Patty into Jude, because Jude already has a large portion of the lid. So we want to give Patty a little spotlight here at the front. And just make sure they are meshing nicely together, which I think that they are. And then what I do is I go ahead and I take just kind of a blending brush. Typically I use my Jaclyn Hill JH30. This is the brush I use to kind of blend the crease, because again, I do take my shimmers up here. So I want to make sure that they're not blended away, but that they just kind of are blended together in a little bit of harmony, so they don't look so staccato, but they look more blended together. Do a little bit of that, and then we are done with the top part of our eye look. We're going to go ahead and go back into our brush that we used to blend our shades together on the lid, and we're going to go in, ooh, I have a little bit on my shirt here. We're going to go in with a bottom lash color. And I think, ooh, somebody has a really loud car. I think what we're going to do for this one is go in with Rebellion. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Rebellion. I think this is a cream to powder, and if you see, Rebellion's a little brighter. So that one's a little bit of a brighter kind of mauve. I'm just going to put it on this little brush right here. And I think we're just going to put it kind of close to the lash line. And we're going to take it all the way in and over. In and over. And this is really, really nice. I really like all of Natasha's formulas. I like her regular mattes. I like her shimmers. I like her metallics. I like her cream to powders. I really do enjoy all of her shades. Or all of the formulas, I should say. I think they each serve a purpose. And that they're each workable, depending upon what it is you want to do with your look. So that's that about that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Wayne Goss number 18 brush, and this is just kind of like a flat, I always call it like a little painter brush, and we're going to go into, let's see here, Andy looks a bit light, Go-Go, okay, we're going to go into the color Go-Go right here. It's kind of like this mid-toned pink, semi-warm. This reminds me of what was in the mini Zendo for pinks, so we're just going to kind of buff out the color that we just put here. So just lightly kind of buff out those edges right there, just so it can have a nicer blend, but we definitely didn't want it to look ashy underneath there. That's the thing. So if you do blend out your under eye shade, you definitely want to make sure that you don't want it to look too ashy, especially if you're doing a lighter color. You want to kind of buff out the edges so that way they can blur, but again, you want to pick the right tone so that way you get the blur and not the ash. And these tones I found, you know, sometimes they can make me look a little lab ratty, and so I don't want to do that either. So that's how we have that there. Let's go ahead and go in with the inner corner highlight. So just take a little round barreled brush. This is the Colourpop E28. I think for the inner corner highlight, I think that what we're going to use is Psychedelic. So kind of just this pink shimmer right here. It's like a pinky whitey is what we're going to go into, just to give us a little something. I actually heard on the channel that inner corner highlights may be going out. I used to never wear inner corner highlights, and then I did. And I do like a sweep mine kind of up in a C motion, so that way it's not a glitter booger. But I don't know now that I can get rid of it, now that I have it. So it's like I was a little late to the train, but now the train's trying to pull back into the station, I'm not ready to get off. So I am still going to continue to do this, at least for now, because I really enjoy the look that it gives and the light that it catches doing kind of this C. So that is the palette. We are finished with that. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes, do my mascara, come back, and we are going to have a little chat ski, and we're going to look at the final look. So I'll be back in 2 shakes, and we will go over everything. All right, guys, we are back. So let's talk about the look, in which I love. Do you love it? I love it. I think that it came out really, really nice. Let's talk about how we kind of finished it up. So for the liner on the top part of my eyes, so here, instead of using liquid, I've really been into using shadow. So I use a shadow from our palette, of course. I'm trying to keep things from rolling off of my desk. I use the color Apart. Apart is the only deep color for me. It's the only brown that is here in the palette. And that is what I use to line my upper lash line. I think that was really pretty. I didn't want to do anything too deep because the look already itself is kind of deep with the mauves, kind of moody look. So I didn't want to do a liquid liner. I thought that might be slightly too heavy, especially because I wasn't going to wear lashes or anything. So I went with that one, and I think that Apart made it look soft, yet it gave a little bit of kind of weighty groundedness to the top part of my eye. For my lower lash line, I've been using, and I'm in love with this, the Patrick Ta liner in Rich Brown. These, I believe, are $26. Let me tell you guys, these are absolutely fabulous, fabulous liners. If you can swing it, you will not regret it. It's a lot for a liner. Totally understand. I was there. But these are wonderful liners. I wish Patrick would come out with some other colors. I know he has like a bronze and a black too. I have the black, but if he would come out with purples, blues, I would honestly would buy all of them. Colourpop has always been my favorite liner, especially for colors. But Patrick Ta would blow it out of the water if he came out with colors. It doesn't kind of run and smudge unless you want it to. Once it sets, it sets. So what I did was I used it along the lower lash line, and then I used the brush that we did our inner corner highlight with, and I smudged it. And if you do it right away, it smudges nicely, and it kind of gives a little more drama to the under eye without having to use a shadow. But once it sets, it's good. You're Gucci all day long. This is just, oh, love, love, love these liners. I think I'm going to ask my mom to get me some more for Christmas because, again, $26, slightly out there, so maybe mom could do that for Christmas. For lashes, lashes is the combo that I have been using lately, and that is of the KVD Epic Curl primer. So this is the lash primer, and it is in black, which I think is unique. Kind of looks a little blacky gray. Usually they're white, but I think this is really nice. It doesn't dry and get crispy and weird. The only dry time I give is basically from one lash to the next. Once I get done with my second bottom lash, then I go ahead and start with my mascara. The mascara I have is from Dragon Beauty, not Dragon, so this is not Nikita Dragon. This is Dragon, like with an O, Beauty. This came in a BoxyCharm box, and to be honest with you, I wasn't even going to try it, but then I did, and I think it's this wand. This wand is rounded, but then it has brush tips here. So what I do is I put it on, and I go through with the brush. It's a little big for the bottom lashes, but I do use them because, again, I can put the mascara on and then brush through it with the brush, and I think that it really lengthens it and almost makes it look smudged without it actually looking smudged. So these two have been a perfect combination, and although I have a lot of mascaras to try out, I wouldn't be opposed to repurchasing these because these really have been doing the thing. For my lips, joyous combination I've been loving is Z Boys in the Just a Tint from Colourpop. So this is an oldie but goodie. I think these Just a Tints came out a year or two ago. I don't even know if they still, I think they do still have Just a Tints in some of their collections. But this is Z Boys, and this again is just kind of a, for me, a Your Lips But Better, kind of like a mid-tone, pinky, nudie color. I put that on. It is creamy. It's luscious. Love it. You can wear it by itself. Let me go ahead and show you guys actually what this looks like. So again, you can just wear this by itself, and that is the color. So it's nice. It gives you shine, gives you color. Just a really, really kind of staple color for my collection. Then what I have is new from Buxom, which I may have the video up before this or after this, but it's on the new Buxom Spiced Up line for the lip glosses. I haven't checked for Buxom in a while, but if the video's already up, watch it. If it's not up yet, when it comes up, definitely make sure you watch it because you may be pleasantly surprised. This is in the color, I think it's Pippa Pumpkin, and this is kind of a mid-toned, pinky, brownie, dare I say orange, and when I say orange, I really mean a brown orange. So it's not pumpkin orange per se, it's the brownie kind of orange. And this is over the top of it. It does have some gold reflect in it, so I really do like that. And this is in the, I believe this is in the plumping form. Yeah, this is the full-on lip plumping lip polish. And I'm going to put a thick line of this right next to the Colourpop so that way you guys can see how perfectly these are. So this is the lip gloss right here. This is Pippa Pumpkin, and then this is Z Boys from Colourpop. So this is what I have on my lips today. I think it's just such a pretty combination of kind of a Your Lips But Better, but also kind of giving me a little bit of that fall spiced look. So again, if that video is already up, please go watch it. I think that you'll enjoy it. If it's not up yet, then watch it once it does come up. Let's talk again about the palette. So the palette, retro. Doesn't look anything like the mini retro, and that's okay, although I do love that one. I really, guys, enjoy this palette. I didn't think I was going to, but I do. I know a lot of people compared it to the Love palette. It does not look anything like the Love palette when they're compared to each other, and if you guys want me to do a video comparing this, the mini retro, the Love palette, I can do that. This really stands on its own, and I think that if you were somebody who maybe liked the overall theme of the Love palette, but really weren't into kind of those pinky tones, this might be for you, because this reminds me of the Love palette's kind of mature older sister. She's a little more world traveled. She has some life experience under her belt. She still sees kind of the wonder in life. So you still have these kind of very loving tones, but she also has some real realizations of what life actually is sometimes. And so that's what I think of this palette. And I think that this is a perfect palette to go out in. I think it's a perfect palette to go to work in. It's a perfect palette just to wear for yourself because it's gorgeous. I've seen people pair this with the Glam palette and it looks abso-freaking-lutely beautiful. I can definitely see how this and the Glam palette would go together. And I may do a video putting those two palettes together because I can see it and I feel like there's looks that need to be done with it. But overall, I really love this palette. I think for $65, if you have the money to spend on it, I don't think that you will be disappointed if you enjoy this color story. If you don't enjoy the color story, then no amount of money is going to be the right price. But I think if you enjoy the color story, definitely get it. You won't be disappointed. I think that as you saw, it performed well. You definitely can use one or two shades with this and be one and done, or you can go in with several and they still look beautiful. I think that you can pair a lot of them together. It would seem like you would always get the same look. But again, I think it's those tones of the shades that Natasha does so well that even when they look super similar, when you put them on your eye, they each give you something a little special. So you can get kind of the same feel, the same vibe, but they're each giving you a little oomph, a little something different. So you're not getting the exact same look each time. They each have their own little special thing that they're going to give to you. So overall, guys, I really, really love this palette. I enjoy it. I'm so happy that I have it. And I cannot wait to do some more looks with it because I am very excited to continue to keep trying it out, especially because fall is here. And I think that it's going to pair nicely with everything, and I can't wait to have, even in the winter, have some snowfall and do some of these beautiful looks with it. I think that will be fantastic. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for helping to calm me down before I have to go do this presentation. I really appreciate it because I'm nervous. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up, not 1, but 2. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of all my new videos. And if you haven't already, head on over to Instagram. Follow me there. See what I'm doing when I'm not here with you on the YouTubes. I do a lot of things in my life, and maybe you'd like to see some of them, like my fur baby. He's very adorable, and you might want to see him. I don't know. Give it a chance. Check it out. Guys, I always appreciate you spending time with me. You could be anywhere else, but you're here with me, and that will always speak volumes to me and always reach my heart because there's a lot of things on YouTube and there's a lot of things that you probably have going on in your life. So spending 30 seconds with me, a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, any amount of your time is greatly, greatly appreciated. So I love you guys. I will miss you, and I will see you on the flip side. I love you guys. Bye.